If they're looking out for themselves and you're looking out for them too, then who is looking out for you? What's up? Welcome back to another video. My name is Nadine, and I'm so glad that you're here with me. In today's video, we are going to be talking about the role that you have been playing. You have been playing a role, and it's a role that nobody asked you to play, yet you continue to play it, and everybody has been benefiting, and everybody has been benefiting from that role that you've been playing, except for you, except for you, my love. So this video is really going to get deep into the core of that and the realization behind that, because I recently had an epiphany, and that epiphany was that out of all the storms in my life that I have endured, a lot of those storms were not at the, how should I phrase this? A lot of those storms were not dependent on me. A lot of those storms came from me trying to help somebody, came from me trying to save somebody, came from me pouring all my love, energy, and attention into other people. And sadly, was not giving that same love, energy, and attention to myself. And as we learn and as we grow, we start realizing that a lot of storms could be avoided if we learned to turn that same love and that same care towards ourselves that we've been giving to others. And it is so very important. If you are someone that has people pleasing tendencies, if you are someone that has continually been at the mercy of others simply because you always overgive and you always put others before yourself without any regard for yourself, this video is for you. Because, yes, it's fantastic to be loving, to be caring, to be giving. It's wonderful. But it's also wonderful to have wisdom. It's also wonderful to take care of yourself. It's also wonderful to pour into yourself, because the best example that I can really share is when you are on a plane and they go over the safety aspects of the plane. They tell you specifically to make sure that you are putting on your own mask before you put on anybody else's mask. Okay? Even if you are a mother and you have your baby with you must put on your mask before you put on your child's mask. Because the thing is, if you drown, you can't save your kid. It's not going to happen. If you are unable to help yourself, it's very unlikely that you'll be able to help others. And don't get me wrong, it's very possible to help others before you help yourself, but there is a deficiency in that. I remember, I believe it was a couple years ago, I had taken a huge break off of social media. And when I came back, that was one of the things that really stuck with me, is the importance of making sure that you are not pouring from a full cup, but rather that you are pouring from an overflowing cup. A full cup is great, but if your cup is full and you pour from it, then you're depleting yourself. Meanwhile, if your cup is overflowing, there is more, there is extra, there is more to give. And you're able to give without depleting yourself. You got to take care of yourself too, which brings back to the main line at the opening of this video. If they're looking out for them and you're looking out for them, then who's looking out for you? Because a lot of people look out for themselves. That is just intrinsically how the human design is. Most people think about themselves first. And it's not bad, it's smart. But some people do the most. They're like, they become extremely selfish, they become extremely indulgent in themselves and have no regard for anybody else. And individuals who are very loving and very compassionate and very kind and very empathetic, they see that and they see the pain that is inflicted on others by that type of behavior. And ultimately, our thought process is, I don't want to do that to other people. So I am not going to be like them. And we believe that the opposite of being like them, the opposite of being selfish, is being selfless. But there is a happy medium. That happy medium is to care for others, to support others, to pour into others, but to not neglect yourself, to pour into yourself too, to replenish yourself, to take time for yourself, to heal yourself, to grow within yourself, to learn about yourself. It's imperative that we do this. And this is how we avoid things like burnout. Don't ask me how I know. This is how we avoid burnout. We really want to step away from the desire to be too nice. We really want to step away from the belief that we need to give more, we need to do more. We really need to start appreciating that we are wonderful as we are. And I'm all for self-growth and personal development and doing better and working on myself and growing. It's beautiful. I love it. I post a growth content here. And if you've not checked it out, if you're new here, feel free to go back and check out some of the other videos where I talk about growth. I'll actually go ahead and link them below. If you've been conditioned to put others before yourself and you never think about prioritizing yourself, that's problematic. Okay. Now, here's some signs that you may be this person. So, you might be the person that's always checking in first. You're always, 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 always the one checking in on somebody. You don't hear from them, you're checking in, you're checking in, you're checking in. And they never have never checked on you at all. Like, they just do not check on you. Maybe you're the person that makes things easier for other people. You're a helper, you're a problem solver. So you just love solving problems. You love helping people. You love looking to see which ways you can make things easier for other people. But you ain't got nobody making anything easier for you or trying to make things easier for you. They're just there because you make their life easy, but they don't consider how they can contribute to make your life easier as well. They don't think that maybe also you would like your life to be easier. You're someone that's always anticipating the needs of others, thinking ahead, thinking, oh, that person might need that. Or if that person had this, then that would be something that would help them. Or, oh, this would help that person. Or I saw this and I thought it was useful. And, you're the person that's always consistently anticipating the needs of others. But when was the last time somebody anticipated your needs? A lot of times you're the one that's carrying the emotional weight of others. You might be the strong friend, the therapist friend, the listening friend, the friend that everyone comes to for help, the friend that is stable in the sense that whenever there's a problem or something to solve, they can come to you, they can cry on your shoulder, they can offload their pain, their fears, their frustration. They can come and they can just dump that on your table. But they don't check to see if you also need that emotional support. And let's be honest, if you're this person that I'm speaking about, more than likely you are not going to go out and be dumping emotional weight on others. because you feel like you have to carry it on your own. If you're the person I'm talking about, support may be something foreign to you. Support may be something that you've never looked for. Support may only be available to you through a few people. Maybe that's a close friend that you've known for years. Maybe it's a family member. But typically, it's yourself. You've learned to be self sufficient. You've learned to depend on yourself. So, as someone that is self sufficient and someone that depends on themselves, someone that is unable to ask others for help, that means it's even more important for you to pour into yourself. If you're carrying the burdens of everybody else, the emotional weight of everybody else, you're anticipating what everybody else needs, you're helping other people solve problems, you are checking in on everybody before they even think to check in on you. Do you see why it's important for you to pour into yourself, to take some time for yourself, to allow yourself time, space to rest, to recover, to recoup, to just be, to be still, to pause, to think, spend time with yourself, to learn yourself, to understand yourself, to give to yourself that same love, care, compassion that you have been giving away to everybody else? You deserve that. And I'm glad that you're here today to hear this message that you deserve that care and more. You deserve having people in your life that are going to value you and appreciate you the way you value and appreciate others. You deserve that. But before you look for that from the outside, you've got to do it within yourself. You've got to pour that love, that care, that appreciation into yourself first and foremost. Value yourself, honor yourself, because you're amazing and you deserve it. You are worthy of that type of love. And a lot of times when individuals are feeling that feeling of desire for more love, for more care, they wonder, they pray, they ask God, why? Why am I not receiving that same level of love that I've given out? Why am I not considered? Why? And it can be a painful experience. It can hurt. It can be confusing. It can make you wonder that something is wrong with you. Wonder if something is wrong with you. When ultimately, the truth is, if you are in that state, you are absolutely allowed to pour that same love into yourself. You're allowed to. You deserve to. One of the questions you've really got to ask yourself is, have you been showing up like a priority in spaces where you're being treated like an option? And understand that sometimes it is self-betrayal. And when you realize that, it can hit hard and it can hurt. But a lot of times it's simply just misalignment. It's not that you are self-betraying. It is more so that you have not experienced an environment where you are met and misalignment happens. It happens to everyone. And that's why it's important to really get clear about who you are and know yourself and understand yourself on a deeper level. Allow yourself to pour love into yourself, because the more you love on yourself, the more time you spend with yourself, the more you'll learn yourself and you'll understand what it is you truly need. And the more you understand what you truly need, you'll start to see what doesn't align and what isn't what you need. And that will liberate you in ways that you don't even know. When it comes down to being someone who is a people pleaser or someone that constantly overgives or is labeled as the strong one, we have to realize that These are habits that have been learned through childhood, through experiences that we've had, through relationships. They are survival patterns that we have adapted or adopted to stay safe, to keep ourselves safe. And it's become the way that we move through life. So, as a child between the ages of 0 to 7, your subconscious is building. And your subconscious is building in the sense of helping you understand how to navigate life, what's good, what's bad, what's painful, what's safe. So you develop these habits and these patterns, and it's based on the environment that you're in. Whatever environment you're exposed to is the environment that is building your subconscious programming. Now, as you grow and you evolve, your subconscious is still running on that same program, no matter how old you get, unless you make the decision change that programming, or an event in your life triggers something that changes that programming. So know that if you have been in the state of overgiving and not really pouring into yourself, this is something that you learned. You learned that peacekeeping was safety. That's why you people please. You've learned that overgiving might be control for you. Overgiving might be safety. There's so many things that we learn throughout our lives that is tapped into our subconscious that we don't even realize why we do those things. And this is another reason why pouring into yourself is so important, because as we pour into ourselves, we're learning these parts of ourselves. We're getting an understanding about why we do these things, and we're able to have compassion on ourselves. And not only on ourselves, we have compassion on other people. When we notice that other people may have some of these habits or do some of these things, we start having a deeper awareness for why some people act the way that they act. And instead of being angry, we have compassion, which, as you can see, someone pouring into themselves does not make someone void of love or void of compassion. Someone choosing to prioritize themselves does not make them void of care and love and support. It actually allows them to be more aware, as long as they're not driven by ego. But that's another story for another day. That's a different conversation. I'm not trying to make a 40-minute long video that I got to edit down into 10 minutes. I did that in my last video and it was not fun. Ultimately, I need you to remember that it is so important for you to honor yourself so you don't end up getting burnt out, so you don't end up having resentment, so you don't end up being confused, so that you don't feel unseen or unsupported. Because the truth is a lot of times when we get to that point in life, it's because we've been pouring into people we're never assigned to pour back into us. As we near the end of this video, I need you to stop expecting others to compensate for what you haven't been giving yourself. That you start meeting yourself at the level that you would require others to meet you. Because as you start looking out for yourself more, everything in your life will start to reorganize. Everything in your life will start to change. You'll start recognizing what fits and what doesn't fit. You don't need to become selfish. Instead, you need to become self led. You need to start making decisions that truly align with your truth, with where you want to be in life, and move accordingly. Because there is a version of you that is deeply, deeply loving, but at the same time is no longer self abandoning. I thank you so much for being here. I hope this video spoke to your heart, your mind, your soul. Definitely go ahead, drop your comments. Let me know which part of this video really resonated for you. There will, of course, be a question of the day pinned to the comments. And I thank you for being here with me. Thank you for being here on this journey with me. And I just hope that you're doing well. If you've not already subscribed and you'd like to see me showing up in your timeline more, definitely go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If this video helped you, go ahead and like it, share it, send some love. Let me know you guys are enjoying these videos, and I will be back with another one. Until next time.